Hello everyone and welcome. We proceed with our episode on drug awareness, and today we continue with the effects and the impacts. So yesterday we checked on its effect on education and crime. Maybe to pick up from where we left on crime is that most people are getting to crime activities not that they desire, but it's because they're already addicted into drug and substance abuse. So we need to solve the problem. The problem is these people are addicted into drugs. Sometimes you say when somebody steals, we are ready to kill them and everything, but we do not. We see the steps. One is that you have an impact as a parent. Maybe you needed a good grades, and they were lied to, and when they were lied to, they got into drugs, and when they get into drugs, they need now to sustain themselves, and because they need to sustain themselves, they begin criminal activities because they will have to use these drugs. So we are also an effect to them that use drugs on how we handle issues and matters that affect life. Yeah, good grades are good, but how good is good when it will have an impact on your child and he be killed or be arrested of a criminal activity. So you'll find most crime scenes are mostly related to drugs. Even the big criminals in the world, they are drug addicts, in that they will always use drugs. Because in your normal conscience, a normal person will not think of stealing. You'll need to use the drugs so that it encourages you even to steal. Because now you'll not think as a normal human being, you'll think otherwise. So also drug, that is one of the effects, crime. And we see in our society, I think this is things we interact with. We see how criminals are always addicted to drugs. Another thing that drug has an effect on is employment. You will find people who are addicted to drug may end up losing their jobs, or they do not conduct employment, their work activity as it is needed, in that they will get into work sometimes late. You'll find it is a Monday and someone gets into work, cannot work entirely, and entirely it is not a normal thing. Like everything is not normal, everything is not going on well. So drugs have a great impact on employment. So we need also to consider this. Don't lie to someone that they should take little by little. By the way, little by little, when someone gets into stress, they take more and more and more, and without you knowing, they're into drugs and they cannot control it anymore. And maybe to quote something, here it said, in a study of a relationship between drug use and subsequent job performance at the United States Postal Service, pre-employment tests of applications were correlated with later behavior on the job or at several intervals. Positive pre-employment drugs tests were correlated with abstinence and involuntary separation. It was found that difference between those who tested positive and those who tested negative increased with time. In this study, updated absenteeism and turnover that were collected for inclusion into the utility analysis follow-up, the most recent update that indicated that the absenteeism and turnover difference between the positives and negatives are further increased, but the rate of increases appear to be leaving off. So when both were tested, it was found out that them that used drugs, their performance was not good. They'll seem to be performing good for some time, but later on, their performance keep on deteriorating, and there is a negative performance. Generally, and that's why you'll always find there is a problem in our employment sector. You'll find a job that can be done with one person, it will need 20 people, because all these people are using drugs and they cannot work effectively. And this is what is affecting the society currently, because the society cannot work as it is required to work, and consequently, because they cannot work as they are required to work, then everything goes at a standstill. Now you'll need more people, and that's why AI is coming in. AI could not come in with the great magnitude that is coming in were people not addicted and people performed their work effectively. Because a machine cannot have the capability to think. It is human that have the capability to think. But now because we are addicted and into drugs, humans can no longer think the way they need to think. So they need to bring in machines so that they can perform those activities that humans need to do what? Need to perform. So I leave us with this point that drugs will have an effect on your life, both you as an individual, to the society, and to your employment. So kindly, let's come out of the drug setup and develop a society whereby we will not be using drugs entirely. We need a drug-free society.